You are listening to the Sound of Niagara Podcast, the Nate McMurray Show. From beautiful Western New York, Southern Ontario, the Niagara region. We're talking about issues, international, local, national, anything affecting the people of this beautiful place, Western New York, which is particularly beautiful right now with the leaves changing. It's gorgeous. All right, I want to jump into this. You don't think that democracy matters, huh? You think it's all a joke and doesn't matter as long as the Monday Night Football's still on and, you know, you could still go to the bar or whatever you do. I don't know what you do. But as long as things are kind of normal and you got a paycheck, you're good with this. Well, first of all, eventually you will not have a paycheck. Eventually the economy crashes. It crashes anywhere you do a dictatorship. It may take a little bit, but it will crash. Just like it'll crash here. Eventually it means you can't complain about the fact that they haven't plowed your street or paved it in 20 years. And if you complain, you go to jail. Or if you go to the airport and the plane doesn't take off and you try to complain about it, you go to jail. Or anything happens you don't like and you try to complain about it, you go to jail. You don't have the right to throw the bums out. That's what dictatorships do. Don't believe me? Look what's happening in Saudi Arabia. Look what's happening in Turkey. Look what's happening in Hungary. And look what's happening in North Korea. Let me play something for you. You don't know much about North Korea. Most of us don't. Well, I know quite a bit. This is what happens every morning in North Korea. You're going to hear this sound. Ready? Ooh, what is it? Does it sound like ghosts? Sort of, right? Imagine waking up to this every morning at 5 o'clock, whether you like it or not. Every day of your life. Every day of your life. This is the alarm that plays on all the radios, in all the homes, in all the market squares, in all the train stations, in all the subway stations, every day. This means get up for work. Yeah, you heard me right. Let me play it over again. Listen to this. Imagine this. Get up. Get up, everybody. Sweep the floor. That's what this means. How terrifying is that? That's what freedom doesn't sound like. This is what dictatorship sounds like. You want a strong man? They got a strong man in North Korea. Trump loves him. He wakes you up every morning to this. Listen to this. Yes, every morning, everywhere in North Korea, this plays at 5 a.m. And when you hear it, you got to go outside and sweep and clean up the streets because efficiency is key. I don't know how to tell you guys this. Every movie you've ever watched told you the same message in Western media. Number one, those who preach efficiency and safety over freedom are dictators. Star Wars, Tron, Dune, Lord of the Rings, whatever movie you watch, it has that message. That is the theme of science fiction. I see how Elon Musk and others nowadays, they wear like Orwell shirts because they're trying to twist it. It's like we live in this weird world where even Trump is saying like January 6th was somehow both a wonderful day of freedom and also an FBI hoax. It's weird. It's super weird. They're trying to... Nowadays, if you say something is racist and you say we should address our racist history, you're the racist. It's completely double speak. This is the sound. Remember it. When we hear about what happens when democracy dies, remember this sound. This is the sound of dictatorship. This is the sound of strong men. You hear that? It's coming to America soon. Get ready to sweep those streets. Thank God the streets will be clean. We'll have clean streets. Trump, our Lord and Savior, Trump will have, everything will be efficient. We won't have any food, but we'll have national pride and a strong army. We won't have any freedom, but man, we'll have a clean subway. Can't wait. Whoa, listen to that sound of freedom or anti-freedom. God, you guys are so stupid. Oh my gosh. If you think this is a joke, look at what Trump's doing. We're going to break into some of it right now. But let's talk about, first of all, the big thing coming up this weekend. No Kings. Great name. Great branding. Don't let them convince you otherwise. No Kings. In America, we hate kings. All right? But this is what's coming our way. Let's take a look. Shall we? All right. Let me move this up here. There we go. Here we go. No Kings. Listen to Mike Johnson, the biggest creep in the world, talking about it.
Is the abuse of law enforcement by radical leftist activists. Most recently, the most threatening thing I've seen yet was the naked bicyclers in Portland who were protesting ICE down there. I mean, it's getting really ugly.
That's the most horrible thing he saw is naked bicyclers. It's a tradition, by the way, in Portland. I mean, is this guy serious?
Is the abuse of law enforcement by radical leftist activists. Most recently, the most threatening thing I've seen yet was the naked bicyclers in Portland who were protesting.
I want to emphasize something to you as we go into this a little more. Nothing about the modern Democratic Party is conservative, all right? You may say, well, this guy's socially conservative, but if you really think about it, they don't support conservative values. If you look at Trump and the lifestyle of Trump and many people around him, they're not conservative. They're libertines. They're sexually deviant, if anything. So they're not really socially conservative. They want social conservative for you and not for them, like the Handmaid's Tale. They throw this stuff out there as chum to the sharks out there, the MAGA sharks. But they're not really for that kind of stuff. They're only for it for you to control the masses. They don't believe in protecting institutions, which is a common conservative ideal. Like you don't change the Supreme Court. You don't change the roles of the executive and the judicial branch. But all these things are out the window. You break all those rules. You break it and you're almost revolutionary, okay? So they're not conservative when it comes to institutions. They're not conservative in mindset that we all have human rights and that human rights need to be respected. All of these traditional conservative ideas, you value history and the changing history, including the tradition that anyone can come here and become part of America and improve America. That conservative or traditional view of the American dream is gone. Now it's about blood and soil and racial purity. It's all changed. We're in a radical right-wing reactionary movement right now. It certainly isn't conservatism. So these throwback guys like Mike Johnson who are clinging to their religion to thinking that they're somehow in a conservative movement, you are not in a conservative movement, brother. You are in some sort of radical reactionary movement that is bad for America, bad for all of us. Moving on, shall we? This brother right here, what's his name? Well, let's go to Trump first. What's this guy? Well, no, if I can find this. Johnny Mac is his name? The guy at the Barstool guy? I'm going to go to him if I can find it. Let me try. Oh, man. Can I find it? Let me pause for a sec. Now, I can't stand this guy, okay? I really can't stand him. His name is something Mac. I don't know. He's part
Famous
of the Barstool.
last words inside a young
He's a journalist in the Barstool Mac.
If we ever had a leak of this chat, we would...
Let me set this up first. So Jack Mack, that's his name. Jack Mack is a Barstool sports commentator and a so-called journalist. He's not really a journalist. I don't know what he is. And he does these little videos every day. I think he's pretty good at a communicator. They're like deliberately low-tech videos that he makes. Well, here he is, Jack Mack, rather. He is here talking about these right-wing kids, not kids, they're young people, that had a group chat where they were praising Hitler and gas ovens and all this other stuff. The news broke a day before the news broke that one of the congressional staffers had a swastika on the wall of his office. Okay? I don't know how you can explain this stuff away. J.D. Vance says, oh, it's just young people. Yeah, young people. First of all, behold the master race. Look at this guy. This is one of the so-called Nazis or Nazi wannabes. Look at them. They're all chubby, weird incel types. That's what they are, okay? This is the master race, all right, supposedly. So Jack Mack here, who is a right-wing idiot who, just like Joe Rogan and these other guys, they want it both ways. They want to be seen as rebels and outsiders and free speakers, but they're also just, shills for a fascist right-wing government. Here he is.
Unfortunately for these individuals behind...
And the reason why Jack Mack here is talking about this is because, again, they want it both ways. When we do flip this thing back and we get rid of Trump, they want to say, we weren't really racist. We were about common sense. Sure you were. You turned a blind eye to the movement that is clearly a white supremacist movement. So here we go.
Unfortunately for these individuals behind me, their chat was leaked to Politico. So yeah, a Young Republicans group was leaked. It was on Telegram. Thousands of these messages where somebody within the group must have leaked it. That Politico does not say who did it, but they were joking about gas chamber, slavery, RAPE, in private Telegram chat. There were some pretty nasty things in this group chat. As
Yeah. And you supported the movement that gave these type of people power.
As the headline says, I love
You look like you're one of them, brother.
As the headline says, I love H-Man. Obviously can't say that word on here, but you know who H-Man is. And here are some
Hillary
behind me
Duff?
if you want to stop it and look at it. One of the main guys that really got during this group chat being leaked, William Hendricks.
Look at this guy. Again, this is the group chat. Look at William Hendricks back there. Like he looks like a poster boy for the incel movement. Behold the master race. This is the guy that loves Hitler and thinks that he's a part of a pure blood race. Look at him. I'm not sure he's human.
Missouri. He's drawn to the Missouri's young Republican.
Of course he's human. Nothing bad to happen to this guy. But I mean, what I'm saying is he's a slob. Look at him. He's a slob. He obviously never had a girlfriend. I'd put money on the fact this guy never had sex. Not that that's a big, not that I'm Mr. Sex, but like it does say something about someone when they're this old and they've had no interaction with females. I think it pretty much shows the reason why this guy has so much rage. Look at this guy.
Made a remark in July. Bro was at a chicken restaurant ordering his food. Would he like some watermelon and Kool-Aid with that? I'm generally not a fan of leaking group chats. That's no good. It usually takes things out of context, but these quotes, these messages were no good. Hendricks was a communications assistant.
This is your viewer base, Jack. This is your guy. This is I guarantee they listen to your stupid little thing every day.
Hendricks was a communications assistant for Kansas Republican Attorney General Chris Kobach.
All right, communications. He was in communications, and he's leaking. He's saying this stuff in a group chat.
Was like, remember the I love H-Man quote? That was done by this guy behind me, Peter Gienta.
Yeah, again, look at the master race. Look at
Chief
Peter.
of Staff for
Holy
New
cow,
York
slug.
Assembly member Mike Riley
Slug.
in Staten Island. Bobby Walker was going to be
Slug.
the head of a campaign staff in New York. Does not look like he has that job.
You slug.
JD Vance took to Twitter and said, this is far.
Yeah, enough.
That's why I
Let's move on here. I want to move on to Trump. This is the movement, guys. This is Trump here. What is he saying? He's saying he wants to build an Arc de Triomphe, the Arc de Trump, and listen, it's like the Venice or the Venetian in Las Vegas or something. It's a man who has no artistic vision. He's going to build a copy of what they have in France because he thinks that's fancy. That's what he thinks. He thinks it's fancy. So he wants a fancy arch in Washington, D.C. He doesn't understand what Washington, D.C. represents. So here he is talking about his plan. It looks like he's leaking it by, because some reporter saw it.
What is this, Mr. President?
Thank you guys.
It's going to be built.
Thank you all. You come this way. Thank you.
For who?
Thanks, guys.
Take a look.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, no, I know where it is, but who's it for?
Thank you guys. The country.
It's going to be a beautiful.
The Arc de Trump?
He says me. He wants to put a giant arc over the Lincoln Memorial. I mean, this guy is a fool. Okay? He's a fool. If you're still before him, like there's two groups that are for him. The first group is the MAGA base, right? And I don't really hate you as much as the other group that I'm going to talk about. The MAGA base are the guys who are like, listen, man, we're going to rip it all up. And they may have some racist views because they're uneducated and that it makes them feel powerful to lash out at somebody. Not justifying any of that, but I pity you, okay? Mostly I pity you. On the other hand, we have the rich country club type who are like, I want to lower taxes. And they'll vote for anybody. They'd vote for, I don't know, Genghis Khan if it meant they'd have lower taxes because in some part of our brains, we know that life is finite and they want to spend their life living an elite lifestyle above their fellow man, even if it's slightly above. Even if it's a country club in Toledo or something, they still want to be in a country club. So these are the two people that vote for Trump. And so like one of them is angry and easily manipulated and the other one is locked in. But they're both locked in at this point. And Trump could do whatever they want. And because one is so fixated on their own wealth and the other is so fixated on their own grievance, that we have a real problem here. But I want to say to you guys, some of you guys I grew up with, I get why you wanted to vote for Trump. Who wants to vote for the Democrats? They're stupid. I mean, I have more grievances with them than anybody. But there's one side is bumbling and inept and slightly self-interested. And the other side is fascist and authoritarian. There's no comparison here, okay? One side is typical politician bull garbage, and the other side is authoritarianism. So wake up. What is my advice to you? Want to fight authoritarianism? Dead weight. Make yourself stiff. Do not get physical. Do not fight back. Nonviolence. They want you to take the bait. They want you to fight them. Do not fight them. We have a chance to turn it around. Again, no kings this weekend. Get out there. This is part of it. It's not going to be solved in one day, but we can pull it back. We do not have to live in a country where Trump is building giant ballrooms and giant arches to himself.
You think.
Moving on to Whitney Cummings here. Beautiful Whitney Cummings, who's terribly unfunny. Sorry I said it. She's not a funny person. She never makes me laugh. I think she's, I don't know. I just think she's a hack, for lack of a better term. Can you tell me something that she's done that made you laugh? I'd love to see it. I've never laughed. So she goes to Saudi Arabia. She takes place in this comedy festival. Now she's coming back and she's on like I'm angry for you criticizing me. You're a racist if you criticize me. You're a racist against Saudi Arabia if you criticize me for going there. Yeah, right, lady. I would criticize you if you went to South Africa during apartheid. I'd criticize you if you went to North Korea. I'd criticize you if you took a paycheck to stand before Putin. It has nothing to do with racism. I love how these people, these right-wing types or these right-wing adjacent types like her, because she's just a shill. She's what they call a MAGA grifter at this point. They kind of use the tropes and language of woke ideology when it suits them. Here she is doing just that.
You think that the people of Saudi Arabia and the Saudi government all share. Okay, so you also believe that the Chinese government and the Chinese people are exactly the same. It's just racism. I think it took me a second.
Lady, you took $1 million from the Saudi government that puts people in jail for saying the wrong thing on TikTok or the wrong thing on Facebook. Like 20 years in jail for criticizing the royal regime. You took money from them, okay? And you promised not to criticize that government, to go there to Saudi Arabia. Not just you, everybody who took part in that festival. You signed a contract saying you would not criticize the government that takes away free speech. So you're not really a comedian in the truest sense. You're not challenging social norms or challenging power. You're serving power. So you're really just a clown. And so are all the other ones who went. Don't give me a break, this racist. You're a clown. All right, moving on to one of my least favorite people, Cory Booker.
That's why.
Here we go. Here's Cory.
The Democratic opposition is just not getting it.
Yep.
There are votes that you've made that were heartbreaking to me, like the vote for Kushner. That really pissed me off because I feel like this administration, it's not our.
What happened? Hold on a second. Sorry, I got to rewind it. It was my Bluetooth connected to the wrong headphones. Here we go.
I feel like this administration, it's not, are they fascist? They are fascist. It's not we're on the precipice of fascism. We have Pritzker, Texas is sending troops to Illinois. I mean, and I feel like the opposition needs to be
wake up.
Fuck no, across the board. We're not giving you.
We're not funding your fascist government.
I think there's been a lot of capitulation.
I
think there's been
because you love your lifestyle, Cory.
Type appeasement from Democratic leadership, and you're one of them that's kind of been disappointing to me because we podcasted before.
Shill.
They're serious about
this guy's
Project
the worst.
2025. They're going to do all this shit,
grandstander,
and they're doing every single bit of it. So, what do you think? What do you have to say about the capitulation that you participated in and where the Democratic Party is right now?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Well, first of all, I would say very pointedly that one of the things I dislike about the Democratic Party is that we do a circular firing squad.
Don't criticize me. Criticize anybody but me. I'm in power. You're supposed to worship me. Don't you understand, lady? I can't stand the party leadership. I'm sorry. They're awful.
Their party, they disagree. There's a
conform.
and yet they don't shoot at each other. And we have a really good way.
Sure, they
of
don't.
holding up
They
these purity
ostracize
tests. I agree
people.
with you on 95.
That's such bullshit. That is
Come
such
on.
bullshit. They
Come
fire
on.
they fire at each other all the time.
Right.
Trump has sent so many people out to pasture, so many people that he calls rhinos. Liz Cheney can tell you that they have the firing squad as well. It's not a purity
Give
test.
me a break, Corey.
It's are we in this fight, and are we being beholden to corporations and corporate interests, or were we really
I don't even know who this lady is, but wait till.
And that's what I think.
Two things I'll say.
I don't want to hear it, but we'll hear this.
Do you think he's a war criminal, Benjamin Netanyahu? Do you think he's a war criminal?
I again, these are questions that a lot of people think are the important litmus tests.
They're important.
They're loaded.
Having values and sticking to those values is important. What is your litmus test? As long as you get to stay in power?
My urgency is to be an effective leader in bringing an end to this crisis.
What?
And I get these questions all the time.
What?
That to me undermine my urgency. And
I
again,
think the thing
excuse me? What do you mean by that? What does he mean by that? Is Benjamin Netanyahu a war criminal? He has been charged. You could just say that. He's been charged. And anybody has to be investigated. That's a pretty mild answer. Your answer is, I'm not going to answer it?
Democrats get so frustrated with where we are right now, where you see like the Zoran Mamdanis and the Graham Plattners rise up, because they can go on podcasts and you can say, do you
give them a real
Benjamin
answer?
Netanyahu's a war criminal? And they just say yes. And that's the end of it. It's not all of the rhetoric answering. It's like,
it's just so pathetic, all of it. I'm sorry. Cory Booker, I've always said he's a joke. That whole 25-hour speech he did. We don't need that. We need actual answers. And don't say, well, Nate, you should give the answers. Well, I'm trying. I'm saying people should protest on the 18th. People should tell their friends and family. People should resist. People should be out in the streets. But you're in power, Corey. You're just going to go there and grandstand. Why aren't you voting? Why are you voting for any of this stuff? He picks his votes as if it's 1984 and Tip O'Neill is in the House. I mean, that's what it's like. It's not, he's treating it as politics as usual, and this lady's right to call him out.
What happens to Democratic politicians, they go through this like prism, and then we can't ever get like the answer to yes or no conversations like you do with Bernie and others. And that's the frustration for the Democratic.
Do I think Netanyahu is worse than Trump? Yes.
Well, is he a war criminal? That's what he asked. She asked, right?
Look, I'm one of.
All right, moving on.
I'm one of.
I want to take a picture, look at some of this. Okay, this is ICE
famous last
going
words.
Nuts. Here we go.
Fuck out of here! Real Americans don't want to.
Get the fuck out of here!
You fucking Nazi!
This is in Chicago. They're chasing Americans through a grocery store. Why? What is going on? Is this what you guys voted for, to chase Americans through a grocery store?
Get the fuck out of here! He's a citizen! He's a citizen!
Oh my gosh.
He's a citizen!
Here's another video. People are getting mad.
That's
And
why
what I'm worried about is someone's going to hurt these ICE idiots with masks. I know you want to. Who doesn't want to? Who doesn't want to? But if you do, they're going to destroy you, okay? We can't win like that. They have the guns, the qualified immunity, and the government. The barbarians aren't at the gate. The barbarians are in the White House, okay? So you're not going to win a fight. Your only chance is passive resistance. It is very difficult to rule a populace who is resisting, okay? Resist. Kill them with kindness. I know it sounds, oh, this guy's a soy boy. He doesn't want to fight. No. I know what fighting actually requires, and you're not going to win the fight. Just like this woman I'm about to show you is not going to win a fight against an ICE officer. I appreciate her spirit. I appreciate what she's saying because she's outraged, and you should all be outraged, but don't take the bait. They want to justify real force against you. Yes, you guys with the NPR tote bags and the silver hairs out there protesting, because that's most of the protests. I go to the protests. It's mostly what it is. They want to beat you up. Don't take the bait. What I'm more afraid of is they're going to use right-wing antagonizers to stir up violence and then use it to hurt everybody. I mean, Trump wants to declare martial law. He's been saying it for years. He wants to it. He's drooling. He's salivating like a dog at a feed dish. He wants to do it. Don't let him do it. Here we go.
You're a bunch of fucking criminals. I wish you would. I wish the fuck you would. Yes, the fuck we his family. You're all a bunch of big pussies. Don't tell me calm down. Who the fuck is you? We don't like none of you.
You okay?
No, how can I be okay? You okay? Are you okay?
Hey, get a job, you man. Your job is to beat up on ladies like this? You tough guy? You big tough guy? You coward.
Are you okay?
I look like I'm okay? Don't come up in my face here because I hit hard. Fuck wrong with y'all.
Try it.
I wish you would.
Yeah, try it. You little wimp. Like you're some tough guy. You're beating up on ladies. Okay? You tough guy.
Try it.
You try me and see what the fuck happened. Then we angry. All of us angry out here. So don't think it's y'all.
Yeah,
alone.
we are angry. Look,
who you telling get
lady,
out of here?
I appreciate your anger. I appreciate your righteous indignation. Don't take the bait. That guy would crush you. No offense to you. It doesn't measure your value as a person. But one punch from that idiot would crush you. Okay? It would cause serious damage. And let me tell you, he's so stupid. He has such a reptile brain. He wants to punch you because he doesn't want to fight a real man. He wants to hurt someone. And it's easier to fight a middle-aged woman. So don't tempt him. Trust me. Any of you listening to this, listen. These guys want to hurt you. That's how they feel strong. They don't feel strong otherwise. They're not real men. They don't get into a ring. They're not really competitive. They've never been good at sports. They've been mediocre at best, or else they wouldn't be running around with masks in the street, and they want to hurt you.
Why are you telling me get out of here? You asked me a question, and I'm answering you.
Get out of here. Man.
Fuck wrong with you? Oh, stupid ass bitch. That's why you got.
I shouldn't even show this because some of you are going to say it. Like, listen, they deserve to hurt her. No, they don't. We live in America. We live in America, okay? We're allowed to say you suck. We're allowed to say go to hell, all right? That's the country we live in, all right? It's not illegal to tell someone, screw you, you're a dirtbag, take your mask off. It wasn't until a month ago.
Tell you anything.
You want to go to jail?
What's wrong with you? You want to hit me? Hit me, bitch. He ain't got me. Nobody's scared.
Yeah, he's threatening her too.
You're a pussy ass. Come. I got rings on, bitch. So me and you gonna fight. You a pussy bitch. You a pussy bitch. That's why your kids them don't like you, and your wife is fucking on you. That's why you gotta hide your face. My face ain't hidden, bitch. I'm American, you stupid bitch. Fuck wrong with y'all. You can take me too high. I'm sure in the zone your friends. You know what to do? Tell them, no.
Listen, I grew up in a country that told power, F you. Take this job and shove it. I'm not working here no more. I mean, I grew up in a country of mavericks, of people who didn't want to be the bootlicker, who didn't want to be the boot on someone's neck. We wanted to tell power, no. You ain't going to tell me what to do. You ain't going to tell me what church to go to. You ain't going to tell me what God to pray to. You ain't going to tell me who I can love and who I can't love. You ain't going to tell me what I can watch. You ain't going to tell me nothing. That's not your right. I'm a free person. So in some ways, I respect this lady big time because we are the people who tell power no. And I think if you think you're a maverick because you vote for Trump, the guy with billions of dollars sitting in a gold toilet house, the guy in turning the White House into the tackiest building in America, you're part of the power structure. You are not a rebel. Whitney Cummings, Joe Rogan, all you comedians. Comedians challenge power. They don't serve power. You're just clowns. You're toys. All right, sorry. All right. Got to go down here for a second. Nancy Pelosi over here. Nancy. Here she is, Nancy Pelosi. No, this is.
Why did you?
This is Nancy Pelosi. This is the guy singing "Baby Give It Up." This is something unrelated to her. Baby, give it up, baby, give it up. Yeah, that wasn't supposed to be in there, but I'm glad it was. Okay, here's Nancy Pelosi, being asked by the Lindell Company. I think it's the Lindell News Network. This is My Pillow guy.
Refuse the National Guard on January 6th.
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know. We still have questions. Thank you.
What's the question, you weirdo? Look, listen, you bootlickers who are putting on the ice masks, you bootlicking ladies who are putting on the My Pillow badge and pretending you're a journalist or working for Barry Weiss for CBS as a bootlicker, you're not rebels. You're in power. Don't you understand this? You can't be a rebel and be the one in power. You're serving those in power. For only the fourth time in like 100 years, the Trump controls every branch of government. You're not a rebel. You're not a rebel. And Nancy Pelosi is no friend of mine. I remember in my election night, she called me and was like, I'll do anything I can to help you. If you come within striking distance, we will get a recount, blah, blah, blah. I never heard from the lady again. I'm no friend of hers. I saw her. I actually tracked her down once and I said, are you going to help me? And she said, yes. And she didn't do anything. Okay, nothing. She was not there. Okay, she was in La La Land. I lost by 0.29%. She didn't help me with a recount. In fact, the Democratic Party sued me to prevent me from even locking up the ballots to lead to a recount. They didn't help at all. So I am no fan of Nancy Pelosi. I think that she's a very corrupt person. I think she has done insider trading for 50 years or whatever. She's no friend of mine, okay? But to blame her for January 6th, you have to be in an alternative reality, okay? She almost died on January 6th, all right? She was scared to death. You can go back and listen to the videos, all that stuff, all right? Trump did nothing. He sat in the White House, and then he said, these are great people. He let them out of jail. Don't pretend it's a joke, by the way. Some of them were amassing guns on the other side of the Potomac. They were arrested. They were convicted by a jury, a trial of their peers. They were pardoned. And now we're saying it's Nancy Pelosi's fault? It's the FBI's fault? I mean, come on. You really have to do some mental gymnastics here. You really have to lie to yourself. You really have to lie to yourself to believe Nancy Pelosi is responsible for January 6th. It's outrageous. All right. Backing it up to this. Cheer you up again. Baby, give it up, baby, give it up. I'm glad you're in there. I don't know how you got in there.
Colt, I hope.
All right, one more thing. I'll get out of here.
Mel Gibson has.
Okay, this is a great video. This guy is I don't know who this guy is, but he makes good videos. This is completely right.
Successfully executed the least historically.
He's talking about the new Mel Gibson Jesus movie, and it's again. I want to say to Mel Gibson and all these other people, what do you think Jesus taught? Jesus was a revolutionary. He taught that he's going to overthrow the bad things in the world and again start the good things. I'm going to find the exact scripture. It doesn't matter. Here we have the right wing is upset over the casting of the guy that's going to play Jesus in the new Mel Gibson movie.
With Finnish actor Jaakko Otonen playing Jesus Christ in The Passion of the Christ 2 and 3. A lot of you mouth-breathing Neanderthals out there didn't quite get the irony or point of my first video, so let me spoon-feed it to you as I would a child. My point is not that you need to care about this because Jaakko is an actor. He's actually a good actor. I've seen him in The Last Kingdom. I'm sure he'll do a fine job. He'll have makeup, etc. Is this historically accurate? No. Can he still do a fine job? Yes, he can. My point is not that you need to freak out about this absurd casting of this man who somehow has less genetic similarity to Jesus Christ than Jim Caviezel, which is actually an accomplishment. Finland was largely settled by people from Siberia. These are blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fair-skinned people. It literally could not be a less accurate casting. I said in my last video that Donald Glover would be a more accurate casting than Jim Caviezel. My point was not that Jesus looked exactly like Donald Glover. My point was that there's more genetic similarity in Donald Glover than a man from Finland.
All right, this guy's point is you're so upset over the casting of a stormtrooper in a movie because he's black, but you have no problem with a guy from Finland being cast as Jesus. Which is outrageous. I have no problem with the guy from Finland being Jesus. I have no problem whatsoever, but he's making a good point here. The point is you obsess over casting in Lord of the Rings, but you're cool with a guy that is completely has no Semitic roots or DNA, or I guess he has some. We all share some DNA. But like, he is the least accurate person to fulfill this role, and you're okay with it, but you're not cool with this guy. And by the way, he's from Finland. Finland people are from Siberia. Siberian people are, Asian. They mix together with people from the southern, farther south in Europe. Oh, we're all mixed, all right? So I don't care who you cast in any movie. I really don't, as long as they can play the part. I have no problem with it. But the problem I have here is that the Republicans are so race-obsessed. They're race-obsessed with anyone who is not white. And again, white is a moving term, right? It could be every generation redefines what white is to some extent. That someone who's not white is cast in some period piece about a fantasy people.
American with Swiss, Slovak, and Irish heritage. You people lost your minds and review bombed a Netflix Cleopatra project that you were never ever gonna watch. The movie is actually a big deal. It's the sequel to what was the highest grossing rated R film of all time, I believe, in the moment. This man is portraying one of the most influential people ever to live, right? People went insane about this, and again, more genetic similarity here than with Yaakov. People went insane that Denzel Washington is playing Hannibal. Again, more genetic similarity here than with Yaakov, who is playing Jesus Christ. You guys even lose your mind when the shit is made up and for kids, like with How to Train Your Dragon, right? When it's imaginary stuff like Lord of the Rings, you people wet yourselves. To conclude, my point is not that you need to be upset about this. My point is, if you're not upset about this, we're never actually upset about this either, because you were never going to watch this. It's like I was never going to.
Yeah, listen, I'm probably not going to watch it. I don't think that these modern Christians even know what Christianity is. Christianity, they think, is the Old Testament, which Christ very clearly said, I fulfilled the old law. I'm not abolishing it, I'm fulfilling it. Meaning we have a new law. And the new law is, thou shalt love everybody like yourself. We're not tribes. We are all children of God. I will talk to the guy from Ethiopia or the lady at the well from a different tribe. I am for everyone. That's the message of the New Testament. It even says, if you don't care for the sick or the stranger or the outsider or the person in prison, you're going to hell. I mean, it's so clear. You can't redefine what Christ says in any of the Gospels, and the Gospels don't coordinate. By the way, the Old Testament, the Torah, the law of the prophets, was written in some form of Hebrew. The New Testament was written in Aramaic, which is a Greek form of language. You have multiple translations. They don't coincide. They really don't overlap. They're from different times and different people and different cultures. It's very complicated, but Christ's message is clear. Love everybody. Treat people with respect. The old laws, the traditions don't matter as much as the fact that we're all brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ. I don't understand why Mel Gibson doesn't see this. Or people that say they're Christians don't see this. The messaging is pretty clear. All right. I think I want to start doing lives on TikTok, but I'm not sure I have the time or the power to do it. I'll think about it. But in the meantime, my friends, let me do this for you. Play a little song. You ready? Songs. Where's my songs? No, that's not it. That's not it. Guys, stay positive, though. I say that every week, but you got to stay positive. Don't be discouraged. It's hard to hold on to power. All these dictator types, they try, and they usually can't do it. So just be chill, okay? We're going to get there. Just resist. Go limp. Go limp meaning don't give up. Go limp meaning make them drag you into autocracy. All right? Here we go. God bless.